Okay, welcome to round number 3 of Chaos Draft. My name is He Who Is in the Water, and we have ourselves a pack of Midnight Hunt here, a format I famously hated with a furious passion. And we have opened some very reasonable cards here. Eaten Alive is great. Ecstatic Awakener was nuts in that format, not so sure how that plays out in Chaos. Neonate's Rush was also pretty acceptable. Ritual of Hope had its moments. Outland Liberator's fine. Lunar Frenzy's a pretty good combat trick. Unnatural Growth is very inappropriate if it works, but like quad green is a serious commitment. So I think I'm just gonna take the Lunar Frenzy. Is that or Eaten Alive? I think I'll take the Frenzy here just for being 1 pip, I think is what makes the difference. Here we have another Innistrad pack. Nothing really great in red here. Geistcatcher's Rig is not nuts, but like it's colorless, so I'm inclined to play it in most things, and flyers are just generally going to be problems, so I think I'm okay with it. Bonds of Faith can be pretty good. Maybe I should get that removal spell. It is probably more powerful than Geistcatcher's Rig. Rig is like never going to be like the best card in our deck, I guess. And sometimes we're going to have some really good Bonds of Faith decks. Banishing Slash is a really strong follow-up with this enchantment. I didn't play this format, so I'm not as familiar with these cards, but there's a lot of... I think most of these cards are just okay. Not terribly exciting, just okay. So I think I'll take Banishing Slash. Just like white exile target tapped creature, I think is pretty exciting, and if we ever get to turn it on, is like really nice and is like a slight color commitment here, which is not a bad thing to do. How's the Snare Squad? Just a very solid creature. Literal Windrake also interesting. Riot Piker, I haven't played with that one before. I don't know what to make of all that, to be quite honest. First Strike is really good, but attacking each combat if able is also quite challenging. But I think this is just a very strong common. The Snare Squad, 1/4 is just gonna block quite a bit. Here we have a slight divergence. I think something I've been doing more in this format, which is maybe not good because I've been kind of getting destroyed in this format, is I just want to take the white card here and cut it off a little bit. And just, Guardian of the Pilgrims is like not an insane 2-drop, but it's going to make the deck the vast majority of the time. And nothing here is quite strong enough to like want me looking elsewhere. Backward Survivalist is kind of okay. Make Mischief is medium to me, but I think I like the idea of just kind of locking in this color. And the Booplegeist is a pretty nice reward for that. Yeah. Just the Flying Man with upside here. Very powerful upside for an aggro deck. Yeah, I just like that a lot. Uncaged Fury is also a nice combat trick. Kind of a difficult one to play around. Stoic Builder is a powerful value creature, but I don't think that's quite what we want. I think we just lock in some white creatures here. I guess. So Phyrexian Revoker is kind of like the easy take here. But I also have some thought for Rally the Forces. First Strike is again just pretty unusual, but I think I'll take this as like an artifact both for Banishing Slash and Topplegeist, as well as just like pretty acceptable. I don't know what this does. At the beginning of your upkeep for each land target player to the next is an choose a land that our idea is going to be to flooding the board with creatures, so I don't think that's what we want. I think Resistance Fighter's an okay card. That's interesting. These red cards are just like very average. I could take Jack-o'-lantern for the Topplegeist and the Banishing Slash, but I think I'll just take this 3/2 for 3 instead. Makeshift Mauler can be, well, Feeling of Dread sometimes is just going to win games. So we're really just white looking for something else. Although we're getting a lot of late red cards here. So I don't know what to make of all of these. These are fine red cards that we're getting back here. So we're kind of indicating that red is pretty open here, but it's not very good either. I think these are the. I'm not sold on Riot Piker yet, but like I would play these cards. I'm just not that attached right yet. Tapped creatures you control can block as though they were untapped. Right. That's confusing. We're not really looking to do a ton of blocking, I guess, but some could certainly occur. Other thought here would be Glacial Array. Kami of Ancient Law is fine too, but Masako probably has enough upside to like take that over the Kami. Two mana shock is just not really where I want to be. I'm thinking, this is not great. I haven't even looked at all the cards in the pack yet. I just know that we're not, with white-red is just not the color combination that they want you in this set. And as such, there's like absolutely nothing I want. So I guess I take this border post on the off chance that I end up green-white. Does enable, maybe we play it for Bonds or Banishing Slash, but I don't know about that. Hercule's final meditation is interesting. Don't think repair and recharge is really that good. Scrapwork mutt is kind of helpful on all angles here. So I think that's what I want. Gets stuff in the graveyard for Topple Geist as an artifact for Banishing Slash. I don't see stuff here that makes me want to move into other colors. Pendragon Strongbow is really good in its format, but is unlikely to replicate its power here. Verdant Command, this one had a lot of small things, right? Target player creates 2 tapped squirrel friends. Counter target, that doesn't matter. Okay, so this is Raise the Alarm that gains 3. Not terribly exciting. That's a pretty good spell. But I think Piercing Rays here as just a white removal spell, the color that we're like most locked into play. It's gonna be pretty hard pressed here because this would be like moving into like being a full Naya deck, and I don't think that's really where we're at. Indeed. If we do want to be Naya, the Sakalum Archers here is quite powerful. And I don't see much else here that I'm like interested in, like maybe this Maniacal Rage to like increase our enchantment count for Banishing Slash, but that doesn't seem good to me. I don't really want to do that. So this, I think this is just on the off chance that this ends up being where we're headed. Yeah, Wanderer's Strike is just kind of late in the pack, to be honest. So we have some like actually like rather decent white removal here. Hazda Officer is also nice. Rally to Battle is an unusual anthem. Very defensive, but quite powerful. I feel like I just need to like fill out my curve a little bit more at this time. Is that even true? It's kind of true. This is a powerful effect. I think I can do better. It is the greatest Magic the Gathering card ever printed. It's just true. Yeah, just doesn't get better. And here, I think I'll take Kami of Ancient Law just as an acceptable 2-drop with some upside later. The second point of toughness here, and white being our main color, is gonna put me over the edge a little bit. Maybe we end up blue-white. Who knows with this feeling of dread. Yeah, I'll take a Power Stone Engineer. I guess this has just kind of been the thing that I keep trying to not force, but I guess like I keep gravitating towards these like monocolor aggro decks, and they are the decks I've had the most success with in this format. But they're just kind of funky too. I don't know. Don't know. These red cards are still like, I don't know. I probably still splash Uncaged Fury and Lunar Frenzy. Almost certainly. But beyond that, I don't really know. Marble Gargoyle is great for us. What did I take over this before? Oh yeah, I took Piercing Rays because I'm just a degenerate and I can't pass removal. I mean, yeah, I do love Maniacal Rage. It's like my favorite thing to do in one of my favorite things to rely on in chaos formats. It just puts a Moors on a thing, get them dead. I think we have enough artifacts now that I would not consider playing the Wildfield Border Post just on its own. I do not have... Oh. Yeah. Yeah, remember when I said I'm gonna like think about Ethercast Night? In case I open something nutty and blue, and it's like, yeah, that's yeah, that's that's better than what we got going on here. That is for certain. Oh baby. Okay, all right, we're actually kind of, we can make this happen. Yeah, Defiant Strike's probably not making it in, but we can be a good Urza Lord High Artificer deck. I have faith. Okay, Windrider, I can't say this card. Is like pretty useful. Cunning Geyser Mage is, I think, a little bit more the kind of tempo interaction that I'm looking for. Don't really have anybody to go on the party with Emiria Captain, so it's just going to be a 4-mana 2/2 flyer. Not useful. So it's like this wizard or this wizard over it. And I think I'm going to take this one that's got that extra point of power to try to... And also just like get some good interaction in there. Don't really have to pick and choose with that one. It's just all good. None of these are great. I guess Umara Raptor is just a Windrake that plays well with Wanderer Strike. So I think that's just going to be the take here. Oh, Moto's chugging. As long as it comes back before the next pick, I won't be upset. If I miss a pick, I'm going to be a little upset. Okay. Arm the Cathars, that is a lot of pump. So I think I want that. Over Lantern Bearer and Wanderlight Spirit are okay. Nurturing Presence on the wheel would be fine too, but I think I just want these. That seems quite nice, Harrier Griffin. We are not far off from being in the market for Guardian's Mage Mark. I guess we have this Bonds of Faith. That's kind of it. So it turns out we're actually quite far away from wanting this Guardian's Mage Mark. Ignore what I just said. Gigadrowse, we're not going to be the deck for it, but that is a cool card to know, as always. Can learn from our opponents and just raw dog this Pathrazor Bulamog with our Urza ramp. It's just gonna work out great. I don't know here. Repel the Darkness is like probably too cute, but at the same time we just have so many 2-drops. Kind of like the idea of pushing through a little bit. Interesting. Helica Glider and Spontaneous Flight both have some reason or good play to them. I do already have like 2 Windrakes, so maybe the combat trick is a little bit better, but yeah, I think I'll try that over this Repel the Darkness. I'm not that attached to it. Hillcomer Giant for the sideboard, I guess. Triclopian Sight. Don't have anything that's like really powerful to untap, so I think we can just kind of let that one go. I think Soul Strike Technique is acceptable. Another Windrake here is fine. I guess I'll take a Lantern Bearer here. My 3-drops are just glutted enough that we can just lower our curve. Phantasmal Abomination is going to have some sideboard usage, I think, for sure. Okay, we've got an interesting build here. Oh, there's the art for Hillcomer Giant. Yeah, I don't believe I want any of these cards. We did end up being in the colors for Feeling of Dread, but I don't think it's quite exactly what we're looking for, so let's group all of this separately. So we do have I guess 4 removal spells and 4 pump spells. I haven't played with Soul Strike Technique. I think I'm inclined to give it a shot here. Just as that little bit of upside with Banishing Slash, and it can be kind of card neutral, so I'd like to try it. Also, like an enchantment for Topplegeist in the graveyard is not bad. I don't think I want Scrapwork Mutt anymore. I think the rest of these, like Revoker and Power Stone Engineer, I don't think I want to have that. And I think I want to trim a 3-drop. It might just be Masako the Humorless. The 3 Windrakes are kind of a nice package to have here. It does make it kind of impossible to race, though, because you get to attack and then just block on the way back, especially with flyers. That can be useful. The thing is that just like outside of that, we have like 2/2s and stuff. We got like an exalted creature here where we're kind of just going to be pecking away in the air anyway, and just having like additional 2/2s back to block are not going to be that good. So yeah, I think I'm supposed to cut that one. And do I want to cut another card, or do I want to play 16 lands? Because my curve is relatively low, and ooh, that made it do a weird thing. Like, this is not important to access early, and like, yeah. It's tough because I would think kind of like the next card to cut is Harrier Griffin, because it doesn't have like an ETB, so it does take a little bit to get where it's going, but it's like if I play 17 lands and not Harrier Griffin, I'm going to be like, well, why am I playing 17 lands? I want to be casting this more on time. So I think I'm just going to run at 16 and be a slight bit greedy here with a pretty low curve. So see what they suggest for basics. 12-4 makes sense. I think it's going to be 9-7, or let's do 10-6. Urza is definitely a kind of greedy splash, but it's also like it is worth it to me. Yeah, I think 10-6 is okay, because I do have somewhat demanding white mana. Like I've got multiple, or like 2 double white cards, and like I have stuff that I want to be like maybe double spelling relatively early on. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for this one. I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be a fun one, regardless of outcome. This one looks like it's capable of playing some fun games. So let's hope the games are fun, and we'll see you in them. All right, we are in for round 1 versus Nayrad. I would like to play first. Yeah, we'll keep this. We go 2-3 on the play. Need that second plains for sure, and also like don't want to draw any lands, but you know, we'll see. Or can cast Urza, I guess. Maybe. One drops. Wind Zendikon. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoa. Okay, whoa. What's happening? Okay. Okay, so I have the planes here. I can Banishing Slash. Is that good? So if I destroy the island, I Stone Rain them, and the land goes back to their hand. So is sinkholing my opponent, or I guess more, I'm boomeranging them is more the thing. Is that good? Since this option is available to me. I think it's kind of good. I don't have any like pressure in play, but it's just brutal tempo. Interesting spot. I think we just curve out, even though there's like some temptation that we have, 5 of the 6 lands for Cunning Geyser Mage, but getting damage in the meanwhile is just going to be better, I believe. Alright, please don't have a 2-drop. Looks like a 2-drop. Oh, this has an ETB? I never knew. I thought it was just 1/1 flyer with that delay. Oh my. Yeah, well, that's a fantastic draw. Thank you. Thank you, good friend Toppelgeist. That's delightful. I'd love to get in for an extra 3 damage. So what's supposed to play here? I give +1/+1 to Kami. Or no, I give +1 to Geyser Mage, +2 to Kami, +3 to the Geist. I hope I did that right. I don't think there's like a wrong way to do this either here. Okay, I did what I intended to do. So the chump block is just to gain 4 life, and they don't have an option, it's just do they want to gain 4. Okay, this is nice. So now if they try to like tap out for a larger creature, we get to Wanderer Strike. And then hopefully from there we can... Okay, nice. That was a cool game. Toppelgeist, even better than I expected. And I already had like high expectations for the card. That Banishing Slash play was interesting. It was probably good, I'll say, as my opponent has conceded at this time. But this not really a spot I anticipated my opponent to go turn 1 win Zendikon, and then to have the option to kill it. It's just not, that's not really what I was thinking when I woke up this morning, I think for now I just resubmit and we can see what we learn later. Alright. Again, we go 2-3. Pretty easy keep here. What's the blue-white mirror? Knight of Circe. That's not the one I was anticipating. Cool. That card's pretty good against us. Um, I mean, I guess I do it again. The Knight of Circe here is like definitely makes us less mean than it was the first time, but still pretty good exchange for us. I will not return a land. Soul Strike technique is nice here because now we get to attack pretty easily in. That's funny. 2 games in a row, Banishing Slash, the Wind Zendikon. I don't know. Am I supposed to do that? It's such good tempo. I think I just do this while the getting is pretty good. And I think I'll play out this one. I'm definitely not blocking Knight of Circe. No touchy. Well, I think this one's pretty easy to do this here. And attack with both. If they interact or try to block, then with Spontaneous Flight. Instead, Fate Stitcher will be quite difficult to beat here, or is like a very good answer to our Tazim Raptor. But if we can get another land, bounce with Cunning Geyser Mage, that can once again help us out pretty significantly. Alright. I guess we're no longer Cunning Geyser Maging the Fate Stitcher. Not a terrible draw. Didn't really expect to get to attack with Tazim Raptor, to be honest. I am, in fact, not very smart. In fact, I might even be dumb. Yeah. I don't... This is bad value, I think, but I think I'm supposed to just let this happen and say that I planned that, and I sacrificed Guardian of the Pilgrim for 3 damage. That's what I did. That's also bad. It's an additional Fate Stitcher activation. Alright, land here would be really nice. Thank you. It made me worried there for a second, but I remembered it only gives pro white. So very happy if they trade the Clever Conjurer. Chumping, I suppose, is also acceptable. I win? What? I don't... I guess Clever Conjurer, I forgot about the sorcery part, so that with Fate Stitcher was not as good as I thought, but I thought they still had plenty of time. They had another draw there, at least. Okay, I guess. We're on the board there with a cool one. Some Banishing Slash on Wind Zendikon action was pretty rad. Yeah, let's keep it rolling. Okay, round number 2 has started. We are versus Carvel 88. We're on the play, which is very much where our deck wants to be. And a bit of an awkward one, but I think we keep it. Nice, nice. So if I understand this correctly, this attack is just good. They seem to agree. There is some attempt that I could make to next turn try to double spell with Lantern Bearer, or no, I'm just thinking of weird core Skyfisher lines that don't matter to this game. That just stop thinking about that, William. If they attack, I just don't block, right? Like this. The backside is like very powerful. Also cool that it has 2 thumbs in both arts. It's a very cool card art wise. All right. Okay. So it's essentially going up to 5 power, right? So if I put... I can't make my ground creatures out of range of that. So I could do 3... 3, 2, 1 here, so that I always trade and then I push a bunch of damage, which I think is what I want. So first I'm putting 3 damage here, and now I am putting 2 power and toughness, not damage. +2 here, +1 here. Okay, no blocks. And also get to flip the werewolf is a nice bonus here. Arm the Cathars is a real... it's stumping me so far. One damage to each creature that player controls. Okay. So I guess I am doing that. That's pretty good here. Pretty good. And this is all combat damage, right? So it wouldn't have... I didn't actually have a block there. Oh, it gives +1/+1 and flying? I did not know that. That card's really nice. My opponent's also just like at 1 with 2 like lethal flyers. So that's nice. And I also just have Urza Lord High Artificer, chilling in my hand. That's all. Yeah, cool. So mono red, I had this Hillcomber Giant. Is a mental note that I made earlier. Not that important, because they're not doing too much blocking for me anyway. They do have I think it was Radiating Lightning. Yeah. Which is pretty good versus me, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes this Urza token is a 1/1, a lot of times. So I've got a lot of X1s. What are some that I may want to try to get away from? Maybe I can trim the Power Stone Engineer for this 4-drop. That has some utility in the matchup. Maybe that's good. This hand looks good. I think I lead on Resistance Fighter again. Little mana inefficient here, but I believe this is better than putting Soul Strike Technique on the Guardian. Or the Resistance Fighter. Interesting. I think this saves me a lot of damage. So I think I would like to do that. I think I put this one in play. Because casting a Soul Strike Technique on it next turn is going to be pretty nice. Maybe? Actually, I don't know if that's true. Oh, that was pretty bad, actually. Well, we can block the Siege Runner. Good news is if we get Soul Strike Technique and they're just like straight mono red here, I think I'd just let this attack happen here because this Marble Gargoyle is just going to be too powerful later on to if I get to untap. If they have like a 3 damage effect, it's like obviously not ideal, but I may have some plans to block with this Topplegeist. I think I'd be okay with putting that on the Incurable Ogre. Yeah, that only cares about defenders. I have no defenders right now. I suppose this makes sense just to pump this all right now. So that I can try to survive this initial damage. Always a strange card to cast Riddle of Lightning. They have revealed a mountain. So they bottomed 3. They have lost everything. They're drawing a mountain. This is good for me. 4 lands in a row is wild. That is unfortunate. Also because I'm presuming my opponent is playing like 16 lands in the way that I am too. Now we get to play the fun game of what do I name with Revoker on an empty board versus a mono red opponent. Let's think of some good ones. There's that Skargan Dragon that murdered me. No, that wasn't in a video. I got done dirty by Skargan Dragon recently from Guilds of Ravnica. Let's see, what's a... Mardu Warstreaker is like a very safe name. I like that one. How about Chandra Torch of Defiance? I love Chandra Torch of Defiance. So let's, that one would hurt me here. That would be good. So let's do that one. And attack for 6 in the air. Opponent drawing another mountain there that's like pretty bad. I think I'm like, if they drew a spell there with this rally in hand, I think I'm like pretty well slated to win this game. But obviously, kind of unfortunate for them. I do think I'm like just genuinely favored in this matchup from what I've seen so far. But we did not see them operating at peak capacity either. But we're 2-0. We're on to the finals. Let's see if we can collect a trophy. All right, round number 3. Once again, very smartly, have elected to win the die roll. This hand is not amazing, but I think I'm going to keep it. It would really love to draw like a second island, but also like to just hit some spells. So this is not insane, but it also just feels a little aggressive to mulligan this one. And we have a lot of 2-drops in the deck, which is kind of a really lame thing to say, but okay. All right. We're going turn 3 Marble Gargoyle, turn 4 Urza Lord High Artificer. I'm pretty excited. Training, yeah, whatever, don't care. Don't care, because I'm putting Urza into play. And he's gonna do a lot. Probably gonna get removed. That's okay. Suppose the attack here is free, because I'm not blocking on the way back. I haven't seen this construct token before. So if they attack, I will double block the Parish Blade trainee. Because if they put the counters on the Dawn Griff, and then I Bonds of Faith, that's just a pretty nice win for us. Cunning Geyser Mage also just kind of does similar thing. Well, maybe I should be looking to not make trades as much and just Geyser Mage on my turn. Oh, I see. We've got a lot of options here. A lot of options. So let's try to think this through. Yeah, opponent says, yo, what the heck? And I will them with the smiley, because this is a very strong series of cards I play, but they've also got a lot of power on board, and I need to try to manage that. I could go Topplegeist plus tap both of my artifact creatures for Cunning Geyser Mage. But I'm not accomplishing that much. Maybe a better line is... See, part of the thing is this Marble Gargoyle is a really good blocker right now. And I just don't really want to mess with that. So maybe I just put Resistance Fighter into play. Attack with the Construct token. I'm comfortable trading Resistance Fighter for Pestermite here. And then I'm just kind of going to hang back. If I recall correctly, Urza does not ignore timing restrictions. Yeah, because it's until end of turn. So I don't really want to like Drago with my mana here. I kind of need to Bonds of Faith the Esper Cormorant. This is a bird, correct? Yes. Because that's just kind of going to be able to start attacking through too much. And once again, I'm just hanging back, I think. Maybe next turn I can start spinning. Interesting spot for the opponent too, because like Marble Gargoyle is like what's holding down the fort right now. So, but Urza is also like some real inevitability. So like how they go about like using what removal they may have is going to be tough. But it also just looks like I'm kind of just going to get to start clicking on things at random. Play the land because I'm very smart. Good. Didn't want it. First time activating an Urza in my life, and I believe I've punted, so that's always nice. But still plenty of game left going on here. Play Plains. More material. Yep, just gonna keep on passing. I could get the Topplegeist in play, but I don't even know what I'm doing with it. Like, what am I tapping down the Dawngryph, and then it doesn't really matter here. Okay. Right, so that's pretty interesting what they target with here. Might just be the gargoyle. They can push a lot of damage here. They do not. This is a really hard game. It's not like I'm in really good shape. Don't get me wrong. It's tough. So Cunning Geyser Mage hasn't been like fire magic so much that I can't return my own creature. So I can return Urza to my hand. I think that's something I want to do. And I think I will play the Toppelgeist because now that they have the Stormcaller's boon in play, like, you know, blocking the Pestermite is much more of an attractive thing to be doing. What? Okay. That's good for them. Bad for me. Fascinating game here. So obviously being able to convert the Esper Cormorants is good value, but the Automated Artificer is like unclear which is better as. Yeah, that's something too to think about. Good, I was running out of stuff to occupy my brain. Just running out of stuff to keep me confused. I think I just cast this. I think I haven't played a land yet, so I think I will spin. More thinking? Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, we can do this, William. We can do this. I think I put 3 on the Geist, 2 on the Gargoyle, 1 on the Geyser Mage. Attack with these creatures. I think Resistance Fighter is really like what's holding the room together, as like making it difficult for them to really get any excellent blocks here. And I'll be pretty happy to like convert the Resistance Fighter and not, or to do it at this time. This game is so hard. It's just, yeah. Okay, cool. This is a fine outcome. Okay. Do need to have an upkeep stop for piercing rays, as if I didn't have enough going on. I don't think I want to do it right now, but nope, I want to Desire of my mind. Okay. Attack with the 3-power creatures. Oh, Bonds of Faith died. That's important to note. For this Banishing Slash. So I'm not super worried about the Parish Blade trainee counter getting moved around at this time. If they end up with like one better attacker that can get through me this turn, like that's okay. They're not really in a good spot to alpha me. Just let this happen. Unsummon. Yeah, this is fine. I'm still trading here. Good interaction for them, but like it's ultimately okay. And I don't. If I put the Celestis Sanctifier into play, I can attack with it next turn, which is I think that's worth taking the 3 damage from this Dawn Gryph. Because I am like needing to get this game over with. Stormcaller's boon does kind of favor them if I let this go too long. Were they in my pod? They might have been. Attacking for 6 years like a lot worse for me. I think I just have to take it. All right. Here's the play. All right, so we're gonna soul strike technique here. Go to combat. Attack and attack, because if they trade, then like Stormcaller's Boon is less scary, and I like that. Now, the Soul Strike technique means that Banishing Slash is back online, so I kill the Dawn Gryph and I get my Vigilance token, which has potential implications next turn. Oh boy. Okay, so they're just taking it. And I believe I will put Kami of Ancient Law into play to try to push a lot of lethal damage next turn. I suppose I could just kill the Stormcaller's Boon right now, but I still have... Okay. Interesting. I don't think I want a Piercing Raise just yet. Put one of them into my graveyard. This one, I think. Alright, let's get to combat. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. This is fine with me. Lots of resources being traded off. And get this into play and just... I am now open to a Wrath, but thank God that's not a Wrath. Oh, the Thopter Foundry can sack itself. And I'll hold the Knight to play around a Wrath. Okay, that was a lot. So they have a lot of flyers of their own. Many flyers, honestly. And some artifacts and enchantments that are also of interest. I don't think I really have a board that can do anything about that on the whole. Masako the Humorless didn't look bad, I would say, as we have like our wind drakes, able to push through a little bit and still hang back. Versus like the Snare Squad seemed quite underwhelming. I mean, no, Power Stone Engineer is just the weakest card in the deck, so let's just try that. They've got a lot of X1s, so it's not likely to pop off really. Although it does get a token for, what's his name? Sounds fine. Can't be sad to see an island there. Right, this is my turn too. Gotta slow the roll here. Cormorants. Oh, the Hoarder. Okay, that's good. I think I do this, but I save the other removal spells. And if they want to trade Organ Hoarder for Resistance Fighter, I think I'm quite happy with that. I think I can milk this Banishing Slash a little bit more. That's annoying. Yeah, well, milking that turned out to be a really greedy decision that I'm getting pretty punished for. Yeah, so I think I'd do this. And then if they attack with both into the Celestis Sanctifier, I believe I block and kill the Organ Hoarder because Banishing Light does not need the artifact to be tapped to kill it. So I'd prefer to have the 3 power creature in play be the Peace Strider, is my understanding. Maybe. I do also have a 2/2 in my hand that could trade with Oregon Hoarder and not Pierce Strider. I also just am now 100% banishing slashing that. Whisper Soul Cloak because, oh my god. It's Whisper Soul Cloak. Just not really in the realm of beatable cards. May need to start Piercing Raise some stuff. Not looking good. I could trade off the board, and then I have my hand versus their hand, but don't like any of that. Just take these trades as they are. Alright, Marble Gargoyle coming to cause more problems. That Whisper Soak Cloak is horrifying from their deck. I cannot beat that card. I think I gotta just run out the Geyser Mage now. Need to try and kill him. Especially Rally to Battle is like a nice additional one here. This is getting messy. Alright, we need to stop with the spell's opponent. I like kind of need them to play into this Rally to the Battle, because if they don't, then I just like don't get to use my mana at all, and it's just really bad. I think I have to do this though. Missed an attack with the Cunning Geyser Mage. Should have attacked there. It'd be a pretty big deal here, but it's okay. Looks like I'm just dead here. Definitely made some choices that like let Exacxies come about here, but is what it is. So I could like block a flyer, stop damage from another flyer, take 2, and then just be dead. That's kind of what was on board. All right. Don't see other things I want here, so just gonna hope to have our curve be a little bit more effective versus theirs, and maybe get to utilize our combat tricks better and try to blow them out more. Because I think if we can get ahead on board, they're not like, they don't go quite tall enough to really compete with some of our stuff, but I don't feel good about this. I'll say that much. Defiant Strike is not the worst card here, since they do have some 2/2 flyers that I'd like to get like my Topplegeist and Lantern Bear to trade with, but I don't know if I can quite justify that. Stressful stuff. For what it's worth, Masako the Humorless was like pretty bad on that board, but whatever. We're in there right now. We're doing it. I'm going to revoke her on a Thopter Foundry because I'm beating down this game. But it's also the card that's like best versus me, and like Whisper Soak Cloak is not as huge a problem if I can like spontaneous flight something. We may get a little sweaty on time, so we'll see how quiet I get, but I'm like kind of invested in this trophy, or playing for the trophy. Land was really not what we needed. Pestermite. I tap this because I want to get the Thraben Watcher into combat. Magic's so hard. What am I doing here? I don't think... I guess I just Lantern Bearer attack and pass. And now I can block the Bearer on the Pestermite. Start chucking in for damage. If they give the Ritual Guardian lifelink, it can be a little awkward here. I can push for lethal with Spontaneous Flight this following turn. Okay. Okay, we got it, I think. That's what I'm talking about. That was good. That was tight. That match was sick. That was so sick. That was just so tense. GG's opponent. That was a fantastic match. Their deck is really good. Just some really good stuff. Like, Thraben Watcher's a nutso card. And like Whisper Soak Cloak is just kind of good versus decks that I build that are a little bit more slow and grindy. I don't, and I played game 2 in such a way that I definitely lost. I wouldn't say I made mistakes, but cards like Pierce Strider and Whisper Soak Cloak appeared in game 2 that did not appear in game 1, which made it the inevitability calculation to be very different than what I thought at the time. So definitely in retrospect, I played game 2 badly, but I think at the time it was somewhat defensible, maybe still wrong. Could be. But this was really cool. We got to Masako the Humorless to get our Lantern Bearer, trade with the Pestermite, and then give it flying, which is just kind of a sick line, honestly. Got to Revoker named Thopter Foundry in a game of Limited. That's like pretty rad. We got to Banishing Slash, some Wind Zendikons. There's a lot going on. I only had one Urza game, but like we did a lot of Urzaing in that game. So like that was cool. It was worth it. Marble Gargoyle also did like a tremendous amount of work, more than I anticipated, honestly. I hadn't played Crimson Vow before, but this Armed with Cathars card was really quite powerful. I imagine was a beating in that format. Topo Guy's great card. Resistance Fighter. Hadn't played this card before. I have not heard people talk about this card before. I haven't had it played against me. Really just never knew about this card until today. And it really made things difficult for my opponents. That was a nice one. Yeah, it was just... We got to really do kind of everything with the deck. We got to... just about every card here really got to show up. I don't think we cast Wanderer's Strike, although we did draw it twice, I believe. Yeah, that was just rad. That was cool. Glad that I got to share that one. And bounce back from, last... the second video of this format was pretty rough. Marked by, some not so great pessimism on my part, and also just like horrible swingy games to like back up the reasoning of like I'm getting bodied. That was a brutal draft. So I'm glad I got to share these 3 drafts with y'all. Chaos is just such a great way to play Magic. Probably my favorite way. It just I wouldn't want to do it every single day of the year in and out, but like 2 of the 3 drafts that I've recorded here had like a really strong identity. The red-black deck was very weak, but I felt like this deck and the Esper deck from before both had like a really strong identity, a game plan that they were trying to enact, some reasonable tools to make that happen, in addition to like acceptable curves. I think this deck had more power to kind of close things out, which was important. And like Arm the Cathars and Urza, Rally to Battle, like those kind of effects were really important for pushing us over the edge here. But that Esper deck just didn't really have those tools for any kind of matchup, to be quite honest, other than just card advantage and 1-for-1s. And sometimes that was enough, but like not all the time. And yeah, when you draft decks in Chaos that have like a strong sense of identity, it's just so immensely satisfying. That this was mono white splashing blue for like an artifact aggro deck, with some light synergies and Banishing Slash. And it's just, it's just really cool. I'm really pleased with this one. And yeah, so enough rambling. Chaos is great. Play more Chaos. If any Wizards of the Coast employee or Daybreak employee is listening to this at this point, please give us more of this. Don't make this just like 1 week a year. Give me like 1 week a quarter, please, and I will like lose so many play points and still be happy. So please, and yes, thank you for also working great on this great game. And yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know what you thought of it. As always, Chaos is very complicated. I'm sure there were some misplays, things that could have been better sequenced, and it's just always great to learn from what you in the audience notice that me with my blinders on playing just totally skimp over. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.